site selection or site development. How does our site protect our building and make it a more efficient building? And as going through all the information, looking at different information online, we came into the the landscape architects have made the statement that a house can save 15 to 30% of its energy by having a proper site. What does that proper site look like? Well, we want to defend our house from wind, mostly because of driving rains and snow, but also because of heat loss to the building. We want to make it so that in the summertime we're uninviting that energy from hitting the building, and in the wintertime we're going to try and invite the energy to hit that building. It was said that if we take and have this wind blowing on our building, not only is it blowing into the building this way, but on the other side, when it goes around, it's actually sucking out too. So all of our buildings can have this energy sucked out of the building from wind directly on the building. How do we get rid of that? We can do that if we select a site that has natural hills and trees to keep that wind off that building. And in this case, we're looking at a earth berm or a vegetation berm that's going to wrap from the southeast all the way around to the north side of the building and back around to the southwest side of the building. So we're going to try and protect that from the driving winds. As we do so, we're going to protect that building from rising and setting sun. In the summertime, that's part of our biggest heat gain. Our negative solar on the building is that rising sun and especially the setting sun in the afternoon. So we're looking at that vegetation also protecting the east and the west side of the house and the north side of the house, but east and west for the sun and the north from the wind also. When we do that, we can eliminate any need for air conditioning if we do the house properly. Now in this wintertime, we're going to try and collect that sun. Well, in the summertime, the sun rises all the way over in the northeast and sets in the northwest. Well, in the wintertime, it rises in the southeast and sets in the southwest. It's at a much lower angle. So now, with the proper overhangs, we can invite that energy not only into the building, but on the building. When we're talking about energy loss to the building, we're talking about a delta T or a temperature differential. What's the difference between the temperature in the building and outside of the building? Now, is it just because it's outside the building? No, it's what the skin is on the building. So even if we have sun beating on that building in the wintertime, that's going to make a different delta T. If it's a minus 30 outside and it's very sunny, that outside of the house in the shade will be minus 30. In the sun, with the right color, it could actually be a plus 100. So if that skin on that building is a plus 100 and it's 70 inside, we actually don't have any heat loss from that building while that sun is on that building. That helps with the energy loss of the building. In the summertime, if we have that sun beating on the building and it's 120 degrees on the outside of the building and 70 degrees in the building, we're getting heat gain from there, not only from through the windows, but also from the outside of the house. So those are some things to look at when we're looking at how do we select a site or how do we create a site to better shade, keep wind, driving rains off of buildings. Another aspect of that is what kind of wear and tear do these driving rains, these driving suns have on a building. When we look at buildings that are more Victorian with very little overhang, you get a lot of wear and tear on your siding, on your windows, not only from the sun, but also the driving and dripping and rains off of a building. So again, to have proper overhangs on a building is great to protect the building for energy and its longevity. Now again, some of this doesn't go to what someone might like as architecture.